Hello everyone, this is a clinical physiology case presentation. So the case is the patient has a 15 years history of hypertension which is being managed with diuretics and low salt diet. Secondly, he is using bifocals since 10 years as he is having diplopia and blurred vision. And the most important part, his plasma reading reveals antibodies against acetylcholine receptors. So, three important things to focus on are controlled hypertension, diplopia that is double vision, and antibodies against ACH receptors. The first thing that comes to our mind when we relate hypertension with vision problems is hypertensive retinopathy, but let's just move a little forward. Antibodies against ACH receptors is a strong clue for an autoimmune disorder that is myasthenia gravis, and diplopia is an early sign of this disorder. So the differential diagnosis can be hypertensive retinopathy because it's the only disorder mentioned in this case, and hypertensive crisis can cause vision loss, but here hypertension is controlled. So the most probable diagnosis is ocular myasthenia gravis, as there is diplopia present as well as antibodies are there against ACH receptors. Even after 3 years, if there are no muscle weakness other than the ocular muscles, then it is termed as ocular myasthenia gravis. Hi everyone. So now as we have the most probable diagnosis, that is ocular myasthenia gravis. So let's just talk about it rather than jumping off to the management part of this disease. So what is myasthenia gravis? Myasthenia gravis is an autoimmune condition characterized by weakness and fatigability of skeletal muscles. As we all know that acetylcholine is a major neurotransmitter in the neuromuscular junction. So if there are autoantibodies present against the acetylcholine receptors, so you can initiate a muscle contraction, but there will be difficulty to sustain it, and therefore it causes fatigue in the skeletal muscles. Half of the patients of myasthenia gravis have ptosis, that is drooping of the eyelids, or diplopia, that is double vision, or both of them as early signs of this disease. 15% of all the patients of myasthenia gravis have only ocular myasthenia gravis. Why do we term it like this? Is because even after 3 years of the starting of the disease, these people do not experience any other skeletal muscle weakness other than the ocular part. There are many diagnostic tests for ocular myasthenia gravis. One of them is IcePac test. So if a person has a ptotic eye, that is there is ptosis present. So if you apply IcePac, the condition will improve if the defect is due to neuromuscular junction, if the defect is present in the neuromuscular junction. That is because of the cold, the acetylcholine will degrade slowly and it will have its effect for a longer duration of time. Second very common test used is the tensilon test, where anticholinesterase, that is edrophonium, is used. Edrophonium is very rapid acting and it acts for a short duration. So it is used to distinguish myasthenia gravis with any other muscular dystrophy. Lastly, the serum antibodies against the acetylcholine receptors confirm the diagnosis as ocular myasthenia gravis. So now we come to the last part of this case presentation, and we'll talk about the management of ocular myasthenia gravis. Basically, if there is no confirmation on the presence of antibodies against ACH receptors, we can do a MRI to rule out any other causes of the ocular defects. But in our case, it is not required. We'll straightforward move to the anticholinesterase treatment. We prescribe pyridostigmine for this disease. Moreover, now if we get any unsatisfactory results, we go to the second part, that is immunomodulatory drugs, because as we all know, this is an autoimmune disease. Thymectomy is done in cases of severe myasthenia gravis, but it is not required in cases of ocular myasthenia gravis. That's it for the case presentation. Thank you so much.